Hey everybody, Dad Mafia, and today I'm doing a video on something that is unfortunately very tragic. It's a very horrific event, and as some of you that may have clicked on this video may have seen from the title, that Shanann speaks from beyond the grave. And I just want to assure everybody that this is not really something of just like a clickbait nature. This is not monetized. But this is just something that my wife and I felt very strongly about. And as many people have witnessed this case, this Chris Watts, Shanann Watts, the murder, it's really captured the attention of the nation. And sometimes it kind of tapers off a little, and then sometimes it comes back. But we've been watching a lot of the evidence and the interviews, and it's been a obsession of a lot of people, including my wife. I would say she's probably more watched more of the evidence than I have. With that being said, I've also reviewed a lot of the evidence with her. I do want to say, first and foremost, that our hearts go out to the families, and in this video, we don't want to bring any discomfort to the families at all. But we felt strongly about this, and we wanted to make sure at least we pointed something out, because when we were reviewing something, we noticed something, and it really kind of struck both of us at the same time, and we're like, whoa, that's maybe more than a coincidence. So let me just get to the point. For those of you that are a believer, when you see what we're talking about, you're probably going to realize the same thing that we did. And if not, it would be one major coincidence. Okay. So for the many of you that may have watched the police body cam footages, they had numerous, they've released numerous of the police body cams, and of course, we saw them showing up to the scene for the welfare check. We saw them going through the house. But one of the videos shows the neighbor revealing surveillance, and Chris Watts was there, and everybody that was following this case has seen Chris Watts watching that video, just being nervous, putting his hands up on his head, just like, he was just, obviously, we all know now that he was guilty. But there was one thing that really stuck out during that, and if you go back in there, you'll see what I'm talking about, but I'm going to show you. So here we're going to watch this footage here of the police body cam, and I want you to pay attention to the section. I want you to look at the TV, because this is where my wife and I believe Shanann reached out from beyond the grave and was using this American Horror Story trailer to convey something. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a watch.
That's it. She's pregnant as well.
How far along?
14, 15 weeks.
Okay, so if you look, and you looked at the TV, obviously, at this point of the investigation, Chris Watts hasn't even mentioned that his wife was pregnant to the police officers, at least that we know of, because he does say it in that video, like, yeah, she's pregnant. So, and this was a while since he's let him in the house, and all these other things happen, and they end up at the neighbors. So, again, look at that commercial. It could have been any other thing that popped up there, but just for that brief bit, that unborn baby image came up there, and he saw that. Then the next thing you see is the black heart. Okay? So you see this black heart tainted. Okay? So there's a lot of symbolism in these images. Think about it. This is Shanann reaching out, we believe, from the grave, trying to get that message to the officer. And Chris started seeing it, and he turned away. He couldn't even watch. But if you really stop and think about the imagery, the unborn baby, we have the black heart. Okay? Then this black heart catches fire. Okay? There's an explosion. As if a murder, right? The destruction of the heart. And if you look at the destruction, look at this. Here is the destruction from the trailer. Again, these are images. Please, courtesy of FX, please. But look at this view of the trailer. Now look at the image of the aerial of the murders of the burial site where she was buried. Okay? So you look at these two, very similar. Very similar. And then, on top of that, one of the next images we see is a couple. The female ends up dissolving, but this female and this other character lying in a shallow grave. Think about this. This is just, you got to admit, this is too just coincidental. Okay, this one segment. And for those of you who believe in paranormal, I'm telling you, we believe in our hearts. This was Shanann reaching out. So, let's continue with this. The shallow grave, the female character dissolves into like an oil substance, and we see the skull in like a oil thickness, a crude oil. And then the neighbor, it clicks into the surveillance photo. So just that section alone. The actual trailer has other imagery, and you can look it up. But not only that, but think about the trailer itself is from American Horror Story. This case has definitely defined like this American Horror Story. This seemingly perfect couple in this absolutely horrific event. So by all means, I hope that this doesn't upset anybody, and I hope maybe sometimes this may bring some people a little comfort in the fact that maybe this was Shanann reaching out to say, look, and give and used those clues, those specific clues from that trailer, just that one section. So anyways, my wife and I, when we saw that and we looked up the original trailer, we researched it, and when we watched the original in more clarity, we were just like, wow, the imagery, and just for that section alone, almost was spot on. So, the hairs on the back of our neck just stood up. So in any case, we just wanted to share that with you. I'm not going to drag this video out too long. Please be kind. This is still, there's families involved. We're not trying to jump on any train. This is not monetized. We just wanted to get what we noticed, and just put it out to public opinion as well. So, but thank you very much. God bless Shanann Watts and her children.